want hot sex at night? Stop being a boy during the day. You don't sleep with boys. You sleep with men. Hello, my dears. This is Maya outside the drama. Today's topic stirs up more emotions than an electricity bill after a freezing winter. Why doesn't a woman want you in bed? And no, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Not for men, not for women. Because when I look at what's happening in relationships, it really drives me crazy. Let's start with a real-life scene. Imagine Monday morning. She gets up, handles the kids, breakfast, packing. You're still in bed, rolling over to the other side. Finally, you get up and ask, "Honey, where are my socks?" She, "In the drawer where they always are." You, "And my sandwich for work?" She, "In the fridge." You, "And coffee?" She, "Make it yourself." And you can already see her eyelids starting to twitch. In the evening, you try to cuddle, and she, "Not today, I'm tired." And you think, yeah, another excuse. And I'll tell you, it's not an excuse. It's a domino effect you started yourself. So think, when was the last time you did something at home before she asked you? When did you take care of the doctor, bills, shopping, laundry on your own? When did you plan the weekend instead of asking, "What are we doing?" If you can't remember, there's your answer for why things are cold in the bedroom. Trust me, that's how it works. It's not about being perfect. It's about being an adult. A woman doesn't want to be a mother to her man. She wants a partner who handles things, makes decisions, takes responsibility. And if you step into the role of a little boy, don't be surprised she's not into you, because no one desires a child. She desires a man. Here's an example from my friend's life. She, put together, works, takes care of herself, the kids, the house. He, nice, smart, but totally passive. You have to tell him everything, remind him, organize everything. And you know what I heard from her after 5 years of marriage? "Maya, I just don't have the strength anymore. I don't even want sex. I want him to finally be a man, not another child to take care of." And you know what? She's not the only one. But just so it's clear, it's not only men who are to blame. Women, you can mess things up too. How many times have I heard, "He didn't clean up? No sex. He didn't buy flowers? Let him handle things himself. He didn't realize I had a bad day? Let him wait now." Or the classic, "Let him make an effort. Maybe he'll get something." Seriously, that's blatant emotional blackmail. Sex is a reward or punishment? Ladies, do you even hear yourself sometimes? Let me tell you something. It doesn't work. It doesn't build closeness. It builds frustration, distance, and the feeling that sex is a currency you pay for good behavior. And then you're surprised when the guy withdraws, stops initiating, stops talking, stops hugging. Because no one wants to be treated like a dog who gets a treat for a trick. Seriously. I often hear from you that you're tired, stressed, overwhelmed by daily life. You feel unappreciated, unnoticed as women, not just as household managers. You miss affection, appreciation, spontaneity, flirting, the feeling that you're attracted and important, not just as mothers or managers of domestic chaos. But unfortunately, very often, you don't talk about your needs because you think he'll figure it out. Quick answer? No, he won't figure it out. And then resentment, frustration, and the feeling of being unheard build up. And just like men, you close off to intimacy because you don't feel loved, seen, important. And here comes the key topic: communication. Lack of sex is often not just the result of not handling things, but also of unprocessed emotions, resentment, the feeling of being misunderstood, unheard. It's worth talking about your needs, expectations, and emotions, not just about chores. Don't be afraid to say directly what you're missing, what hurts you, what makes you happy. Seriously, Don't wait for the other person to figure it out. An honest conversation can work wonders. And one more thing. Both sides are responsible for intimacy and the quality of the relationship. Sometimes a woman should also ask herself if she hasn't closed off to intimacy, if she isn't using intimacy as a tool for punishment, if she hasn't neglected her own needs and desires. A relationship isn't a one-sided game where only one person has to get it together. It's a shared responsibility. Every couple is different. There's no single recipe for a successful intimate life. It's worth looking for your own solutions, talking, experimenting, not comparing yourself to others. Sometimes a small change, an honest conversation, a bit of affection is enough to get things moving. Or, for example, a date together. Yes, that topic is very neglected once you're in a long-term relationship, and it's a shame. Because you should go on dates all the time, not just at the beginning. It's very important to keep the closeness between you alive. But let's get back to the guys, because you're the ones who most often ask, Maya, what am I doing wrong? If your partner has to watch over you, organize your life, remember your stuff, there's no room in her for desire. There's only tiredness and frustration. And then I hear, she's gone cold. She doesn't cook. She doesn't clean. She doesn't care about me. And I ask, and what do you do? Do you even know when your doctor's appointment is? Can you make yourself a sandwich? Do you know how to use the washing machine? If not, don't be surprised she doesn't want you in bed. And it's not about being an alpha, a macho, a leader of the pack. It's about being an adult. About having initiative, taking responsibility for your own stuff, being able to handle basic things yourself. Because a woman wants to be with someone who knows what he wants, who can act, who doesn't wait for someone to lead him by the hand. And if you prefer to be passive, comfortable, wait for her to do everything for you, don't complain that there's no intimacy between you. Because she doesn't want to be your mother. She wants to be a partner. And a partner is someone who handles his own life. So, to sum up, women, don't close off to intimacy. Don't treat sex as a reward or punishment, because that's just embarrassing. Don't be afraid to talk about your needs, desires, fears. Don't wait for him to figure it out. Say directly what hurts you, what makes you happy, what you're missing. Seriously, it works. And remember, a relationship isn't a battlefield. It's a shared journey. Guys, here are a few tips on how to get it together. Stop being passive. Your stuff, your responsibility. Doctors, bills, checkups, important dates, repairs, organizing daily life, keep it on your radar. Don't ask, what are we doing this weekend? Suggest something yourself. Instead of waiting for someone to lead you, take the wheel. Initiative isn't about being the boss. It's about being an adult partner who handles his life and doesn't dump everything on the other person. Set boundaries. If something doesn't suit you, say so. Don't agree to everything for the sake of peace. Assertiveness builds respect. Be active in life and in the relationship. Grow, have passions, plan, organize. The more fulfilled you are, the more she desires you. And importantly, don't make yourself into a boy to be taken care of. Don't let a woman step onto your turf and manage you like a child. Because if you don't respect yourself, she won't respect you either. And without respect, there's no desire and no sex. Simple. I'm really curious how you deal with this topic. What problem are you struggling with, and how do you want to solve it? Or maybe something is really hurting you right now. Write about it in the comments. I'd love to read it. This was Outside the Drama. I'm Maya. Be an adult. Be a partner. Because intimacy isn't an obligation. It's a choice you make together. See you next time.